Welcome back to the Riyadh season. World Masters of Snooker here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. 2 semi-finals to go in this session, and the 167 break prize is still up for grabs. Somebody's got to take it for sure. Well, let's get our players into the arena for our first semi-final. Up first, please welcome last year's player of the season. Please give it up, make some noise for the pistol, Mark Allen. And his opponent defeated Ali Carter in the quarterfinals. Please welcome the reigning world champion. It's the Belgian bullet, Luca, Brecel.
Well, it's a big day, isn't it? And we've got 4 big hitters left here at the Riyadh season World Masters of Snooker. Good afternoon from Dave Hendon and Neil Folds. Yeah, still to come, Ronnie O'Sullivan against Judd Trump. First up, the world champion Luca Brecel against Mark Allen, who maybe wonders how he's still here after the drama of yesterday's match with Mark Selby. Semi-finals here in Riyadh are still best of 7. And as Tahir Hajat, the MC, was saying, the 167 prize for the super maximum with the golden ball is still to be claimed. John Higgins got close on day 1. No one really got close yesterday. But what a day of snooker it was. We had 4 fascinating matches. Of course, it culminated in O'Sullivan's demolition job of John Higgins.
The first frame.
What has the final day got in store for us? The final tonight, first up, the first semi-final. Luca Brecel against Mark Allen. Brecel coming through yesterday against Ali Carter 4-1. Not too happy, I don't think, with the break-off shot. Mark Allen, of course, had that absolute thriller with Mark Selby. And again, just showing how hard he is to beat now. We've seen it in the last couple of years. We saw it most recently, of course, at the Players' Championship. An immediate chance for the Northern Irishman. Top 4 in the world, Neil. Doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, top 4 seeds, top 4 ranked players. You're right, it doesn't get much better. It's a short form as well, just best of 7. The final is best of 9. So we're not expecting the players to have much time to just ease into the match. It could be over. But it was the most incredible match, actually, yesterday. The 2 marks, Allen and Selby. I'm not sure quite how Mark Selby didn't win in his playing today. It must have been a tough one to take. So the gold ball is removed from the table.
6.
Didn't get a great split there. He must feel he's up for nothing, up for none completely, Mark Allen, because really at no point did it ever seem he was going to win that match until the last ball went in. Anyhow, I made the point that he hasn't played. He's played Luca 8 times and he's in front on the head-to-heads, but they haven't played since Luca won the title in the spring, World Championship.
Mark Allen 6.
Yeah, it creates a different dynamic, doesn't it, for the match? What's happened in the last 12 months for Brecel. 5-3 it is to Allen for the record, but so this is a different field of things. And Brecel, okay, wasn't 100% yesterday, but he played good stuff, actually. Ali Carter missed a key brown, didn't need to level at 2-2. There was a mix-up with the scoreboard, which didn't help him. But Brecel kept his composure and got the job done.
He's got a bit of cover on that red anyway, up the table. Yes, I mean, Luca's win was the least spectacular of the 4. The other 3 had something very special about them in different ways. But it doesn't matter, I suppose, to Luca, because he's not had a very good season as champion, and to give himself the chance to be playing today in this event is all that really matters to him.
Well, so far, a couple of shots he's played have not been great. He did cover 1 red, but he's left a chance at this one. He might profit from his own mistake now here, Brecel.
Yeah, Black was tied up from the break-off. I don't think chances are going to be that easy to come by against Mark Allen. His safety yesterday against Mark Selby was absolutely superb. He had the 4 times world champion and one of the best safety players we've got in a lot of trouble the whole way through the match. So that is a part of his game that's come on a bomb, really is. Anyway, Luca with this chance.
Yeah, I mean, it seems an obvious thing to say, but you feel he needs to score today. He doesn't want to get dragged into a sort of disjointed match that will certainly favour Allen, because he learnt to not only win that way, but enjoy winning that way. Brecel, as we know, likes to play more fluency.
Yeah, didn't get much on the cue ball there. He hoped it would just zip back to the blue, but it didn't move very much. Table is incredibly quick, but that didn't show a lot in the way of spin, that last shot. But he is a wonderful player, and I do expect his game to pick up soon. I know there's not a huge amount of events now between today and the World Championships, but he's got a chance to play in the World Open, get his form back, and of course he's on day 1 at the Crucible. Anyway, nudging the 4 reds in the centre of the table here unavoidably. I think it's okay. I think he's on that red to right corner.
19.
Of course, he did get to the final of another big invitation event, the Shanghai Masters. That was back in September, though, in the ranking events. We've not seen that much of him. He did get to the quarters of the Welsh Open, but he didn't have enough points to get in the Players' Series events.
20.
One thing you know with Luca Brecel, he's capable of going on a spell of form where he can beat absolutely anybody. And he proved that at Sheffield, but I've seen it a number of times before with him.
25. $26.
Just the kind of start he needed against Allen. It was that long red that he left Mark Allen which made this happen.
Yeah, he played a bad break-off shot, didn't he? And then, as you say, he left a chance, but Allen didn't take it, and he's here to profit.
32.
Just trying to establish himself on what is a big, big day here. And if he were to win this title, because if you look at the other 3 players here, Allen, Trump, O'Sullivan, they're all multi-title winners this season, aren't they? In fact, they've won 11 titles between them. But if Brecel won it, what a boost of confidence that is for him. $39. 40.
Still got more to do to win the frame, but of course with all the safe reds, the red by the black, you won't want to move that one. If you can just accumulate enough points, it becomes Mark Allen's problem where the safe reds are. So that's why he's played on the single red here.
46.
7 reds left, so still 83 on the table, so a lot of points.
$47.
Great shot maker as well. He's not always sort of formulaic stuff. He's got his own brand of snooker, Brecel. Not dissimilar in that way to Judd Trump. It's a nice place for the cue ball to land. It's a very good shot.
Yeah, the cue ball can roam the table a bit, can't it? But, you know, The idea is to get the balls in the holes, and ultimately, and that's what he does, his own way.
52.
Yeah, once again, didn't want to go anywhere near the red and the black close together.
58.
If he takes red-pink, that'll mean that there is only enough points left for Alan to tie the frame.
59.
Yeah, and of course the key thing is he would need blacks to do that. So Brecel looking very good here if he pots this. He knows all eyes will be on him, of course, on day one at the Crucible. He would love to go there with a trophy in the cabinet.
65. $66.
Yeah, went Mr. Red into the top left pocket, Alan, and sat down ever since. More than enough has been done here. So this frame is just about done. It's not inconceivable
72.
Alan could play on, but it's very unlikely he'll draw back the points he needs to somehow win the frame.
That's good,
Brecel,
72
72. And the
from
frame.
Luca Brecel to start the last day of this Riyadh season World Masters of Snooker. Mark Allen does indeed the best of 7 to reach the final. Brecel leads Allen 1-0. 9 to 9.
frame.
10 centuries so far, but of course no one yet to pop that golden ball at the end of a maximum. Could it happen on the last day? And the other thing is, the ball doesn't seem to have moved in play, which I thought was a possibility. Seems to have been rooted to that spot.
Yeah, I guess one of the reasons for that is, I mean, it's tight on the cushion, so I suppose it's going to, if it does get hit, it's likely to be a double kiss or something, but there is, at some point, I'm sure it will move from there. And I don't mean by the referee after something other than the black is potted.
I thought it might at least have nudged a little bit, but anyway.
There's still time, Dave.
There is.
Still time.
There is. Yeah, I mean, one of the highlights of the week, undoubtedly, was Higgins on his way to potentially making that 167. Of course, finished awkward on the yellow, missed it, but got much closer than anyone else has. Worth saying, though, there's a lot of prize money to play for as well. I mean, this round they're on 75,000. It goes up to a guaranteed 125. The winner 250. So maybe not minded to take too many risks.
I suppose he's a bit unlucky in the end to get that final kiss, which has given Alan a shot at the red. Anything else, he hasn't really got a pot on, but he has now. A thin one, albeit.
One.
Well, he is on the black. Yeah, I was thinking about that 167 actually. If these matches were longer, say they were best of 17 and you're sort of 7-0 down, then you will be going for it. But because these best of 7s, even if you're 3-0 down, the quality of players, you still think, I can still win this. And ultimately, that's what they're here to do, try and win matches, win tournaments. Mark Allen, of course, has won 3 this season, the champion of champions, the shootout, and most
8.
recently in Telford, the Players' Championship, his 11th ranking title.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, he may as well stay on the black for the moment, I think. I think it's safe to say that, you know, if it gets to a point where this match is 3 each,
9.
first thoughts will not be on making a 1-6-7. It'll be getting the match one. I don't think players necessarily will go out of their way. I thought that Sean Murphy looked like he was trying quite hard to stay on the black yesterday in his match.
16.
In the early frames. Played beautifully to go 2-0 up, but eventually lost.
17.
So into the bunch. Not necessarily that easy to open these up. Interesting. He didn't really go into them, but he played a quite delightful cannon just to move the end red. Good artistry
20.
there in a way. He could have gone into the main bunch of reds.
$25.
This time he's going to power into them. That's very, very nice. And he'll be playing the red to get onto the black and stay on the black
32.
for a bit longer. There's no reason why he shouldn't continue along this path.
Definitely. Definitely. Mark Allen has made 3
33.
maximum breaks in competition. Of course, most recently at the Masters in January.
I think he may have gone too far, has he? He looks a little disappointed. Played on the bottom
40.
red. A little rueful smile on his face. Let's see if he's on that. Well, it's hard. We're not directly behind the line of the shot. He had one of these yesterday against Mark Selby at a pink at the... Gave the impression he wasn't on, but he ended up potting it. Right. Not a lot of room. Yep, once
41.
again, I don't think intentionally, but made out that he wasn't on it, perhaps, but he was clearly on the ball.
If you're just tuning in for the first time this week, if Mark Allen makes a 147 here, he will then have the opportunity to pop the golden ball on the bulk cushion for $500,000, £395,000.
Well, what does he do here? He really
48.
wanted that red to come away from the other one. You can see what he was almost body swerving there, just to push that red that he's closest to away further. And then he would have been absolutely plumb on a red to right corner. Now what do you do in reality? I don't think he can play it with left-hand side to straighten it. Does he go for the risky red in this very prestigious and valuable event? He just said to Luca, I wouldn't normally go for this, but I just want to. This is not really the shot, and he knows it in his heart. The shot is probably, boringly, to play safe. But never mind the 167. This is a valuable event, and he doesn't want to go for something ambitious and lose the frame and go 2-0 down. I think with a heavy heart, playing safe.
Mark Allen, 48.
Yeah, heavy heart is the right way of putting it. Just had to swallow that, I think. Smiles between the players. Frame is still very much anyone's.
It's a game of fractions though, isn't it? Because he was very nearly on that red to right corner. So in a way it looks as if he's done the right thing now because he's been given another chance. He's got to win this frame, Alan. 2-0 down in the best of 7 is not a very comfortable place to be.
Ooh, but the red doesn't drop.
What a mistake. What a mistake. Played it with drag. I wonder if he just placed a little bit of side on that because maybe a trace of right-hand side and it just threw onto the ball a bit more than he thought it would. What a chance for Luca Brecel. This frame is a long way from being over.
Eight. Nine.
Yes, I mean, much further down the line, he will need the yellow. He can't get the frame one before that, even if he stays on the black himself. As a right-hander, that wouldn't be too big a shot, especially if he only needed the yellow. That's a long way off, but it's a wonderful chance.
16. Seventeen.
Well, he's gone a little bit too far, but I don't think it's anything to
24.
concern himself about. He's on this red fairly comfortably.
$25.
It feels an important break, this, because I mean, a chance to steal a 2-frame lead against a banging form player who's won Players' Championship only very recently, Mark Allen. Five red's lovely placement in the middle of the table, but they are kind of blocking each other off a little bit. That's a very nice shot. That has opened up all of the reds by taking this middle one. There is no place to hide now for Mark Allen, who's hoping for something to go wrong.
33.
The thing is, he did the right thing, didn't he? Not pursuing the maximum. But now he might be feeling, well, maybe I should have gone for it. Up to Brecel, though. This is already a big moment. It's only frame 2.
He's just not quite right on this black. Straight. Any other angle, it's pretty easy to get onto a red, but here, as you can see, that's probably the worst angle for position that you would get around the black spot. Still a shake
40.
of the head. Surely something goes amongst those two reds. Does the first one go to the right middle, is the question. Yeah, it does. Sure why he was shaking his head there. It looks
41.
absolutely perfect.
He's kind of missed this, hasn't he, this season? You know, he's not been in some of the big tournaments. But this is a big day, the top 4 in the world.
I think he knows now that he's got this far. He needs to clear up. And like I say,
48.
if you could stay on the black, it would help. Because it would be
49.
24 in front on the yellow. And only need the yellow to secure the frame, barring snookers. Kind of shows you what might have been, though, because it's been reds and
56.
blacks for both players in this frame.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not teamwork, is it? You can't share the prize. It's not doubles.
$57.
It's not that often it happens, though, where you'll see all 15 reds potted with blacks in one break. I mean, it does happen, but infrequently. But it may do here. And playing again on the black from the last red. If he has to go up the table, he has to go up the table. It will just make his task
64.
slightly more difficult to get the frame one. He knows it now. He's looked at the scores. He'll realise that.
$65.
Yes, playing on the pink means, of course, it isn't so bad as all that. There'll be 23 in it on the yellow. But this yellow, goodness, that looks a difficult shot, doesn't it, from where he's finished? Well, he felt that he couldn't get that close to it.
71.
Let's roll this down the cushion and make sure of it, I think. This is a possible way back into the frame for Mark Allen now.
Yeah, I mean, that yellow kind of always seemed the problem ball, but obviously he wanted to get on it nicely. So 23 the lead.
Luca Brecel, 71.
Yellow just caught the blue. Wow. Quite a result for Brecel.
He actually might be able to pop this just to see enough of this to cut it in, this yellow. That's what he tried to do.
Thing is, though, when it caught the blue, it could have finished anywhere, couldn't it? Could have finished over a pocket even. Anyway, the frame is still anyone's.
And I'd say this is the part of snooker of certainly evident in the last couple of years where Mark Allen is very good at the end of a frame on the colours. Can match anybody, it seems, in the tactical side nowadays. This needs to slow down or be lucky behind the pink ball. Dramatic frame, this. As I say, some of that extraordinary frame against Mark Selby yesterday was as good as it gets. That's another very fine shot. Yes, he'll be able to hit this all right, but he's extremely good at this sort of game now. That's a good comeback from Brecel.
Obviously imperative Alan doesn't need the yellow one, because if Brecel pots it, he can only tie the frame.
Yeah, and by the same token, I think Brecel has got to get the yellow safe here, priority over any sort of a snooker. Well, there you are. He's not world champion for nothing. You know, his own safety and defensive game is pretty good as well.
Well, it's been a great frame, hasn't it? You know, we had the drama early on of the working towards the maximum. Could Brecel clear up? Now it's the battle on this yellow.
Well, playing it full in the face to try and get the yellow around the angles, it's a little bit... The yellow ball will come off a little wide. He's not sure to escape the pink or the black, trying to push it around the angles. You can see it hitting the pink, maybe the third cushion, if he played that shot. Doesn't want to leave anything to chance, so he's not taking the risk. He's playing a different shot. Well, it's a minor mistake, but it could bring about a half chance for Mark Allen. He missed a red into this pocket in frame one. Maybe the Mr. Red was the reason he never took it on. I thought he would play it, I have to admit. Now, if given Luca a dart at this, he might take this one on. Well, a little tap on the table. He's been fortunate there.
Very action levels from Mark Allen. That's another sort of key part of the way he's developed as a player. Doesn't get involved in all of that. Just looks to play the next good shot. And he has done.
Yeah, this one cushion snooker, and as I say, often it's more difficult with one cushion than maybe a couple of cushions to hit one. Happens all the time.
No miss. 4-3 ball.
And where do you play it from? Where it was or where it is now?
From me.
The latter. Goodness, it's all happening now. It's a totally different frame. Didn't know what to do, so he just trusted to luck. Didn't get any.
Well, it was a definite chance. And again, he could have left this on. You just don't know with balls running around the table where they're going to finish. He wanted it, obviously, to finish in the pocket, though. It's going to be like this all day. It's going to be a very dramatic day here in Riyadh.
I have to say, I think that Mark Allen's safety, I keep on about it, but it's brilliant. But I wonder if it sometimes just takes away the cutting edge of his scoring game when he's in that safety mode. I mean, he's so good at it. But he's missed a couple of opportunities. And ultimately, you've still got to pot the balls to win the frames.
Foul. No miss. Luca Brecel 4.
How does that affect things? He'll still need more than just the yellow here. So, get the feeling it might go back. If he only needed the yellow, then I'm sure he would have tried to roll it in, but getting on the green wasn't possible. You get the feeling that Mark Allen will hit it this time.
Okay, Luca. Thank you.
No pot intended there. I suppose he'll settle for that, but it wasn't quite what he meant.
Well, what a match within a match this is, this battle on this yellow.
And it's worth remembering, of course, that Luca Brecel has made a break of 71 in this frame, which he has not won yet.
Both had a half chance at potting it. Remains on the table. There you are, 12 minutes and counting they've been on it.
Well, it's safe, but it's the kind of shot which can get you into trouble, because can find a good shot here. He could end up snookering Brecel. Sometimes the containing shots do just that for one shot, but it leads to other problems later. Here's an example of it. It may well be a snooker. I heard some smattering of applause from people in line with the shot. They're could also just be a gap through there. That's a terrific shot. You just feel whoever pots the yellow is likely to win the frame, where the rest of the colours are. I think both players are fully aware of that.
Well, double kiss the yellow, so another half chance here for Brecel. Talk about the golden ball. It feels like the yellow is the golden ball right now in this frame. If he can knock it in, he's a big favourite for the frame. Oh, nicely done.
Five.
Yeah, two really good shots, because after a long bout of safety, almost a quarter of an hour there, you get a half chance like that, a queuing shot, and you're not quite ready for it. That was frame ball. High scoring frame, but more importantly, one that Luca Brecel is going to win.
14.
Yeah, it's quite telling in the end. He won the safety battle against Mark Allen, and we know developed in that area. We saw it yesterday against Mark Selby, so signs are good here for Brecel.
20.
He's made the 70. He's won that long battle on the yellow, and he's halfway towards a place in the final of the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker, leading here 2-0. To come. What a performance last night. It looked like he'd make 4 centuries against John Higgins. He just lost position, 82 in the last. Incredible performance. Higgins did not pot a ball. The 4 points he scored from a penalty. That's coming up. Judd Trump, of course, his opponent, the 2 players of the season, up against each other following this match. Looking forward to that one. The 4 seeds here, actually the top 4 in the world, are due to play each other at the moment in the World Championship in this order. Brecel against Allen, Trump O'Sullivan, but of course there's far more matches, far more frames there. It never quite works out that way. It doesn't normally. Here, fewer matches, it has come out that way, but I think if it was to be this at the Crucible, we would all enjoy those last 5 days, wouldn't we?
I think we would, but like you say, for the top 4 seeds to make it through to the semi-finals is something that on paper should happen. But as we saw last year, Luca Brecel and CGOE were in one semi-final, and nobody could have foreseen that at the start of it all. So it's something to look forward to, the unpredictability of it.
Prize money is big, 250,000 to the winner. Semi-finalist guaranteed 75, 125,000 runner-up, and there at the bottom the super maximum, the 167 with the golden ball, $500,000. It's about £395,000. It's a highly prestigious, of course, elite event, a new event, the first in Saudi Arabia. Of course, there will be a full ranking event for the whole tour here in September in Riyadh. Full details yet to be announced, but it's a 10-year deal, and the total prize fund for that is over $2 million, so it will be pretty close to the World Championship, which is about 2.4 at the moment.
You know, what's noticeable there, Dave, is the runner-up prize is higher than most you'll ever see. The fact that it's 125,000, get 200,000 for being runner-up, but can't think of anything else where you'd get that much for. Not that either player here or any of the others in the draw left, the 4 of them would be thinking along those lines. But it is prestigious, and I think it's added to the spice, the tension, sorts, because of that. They're playing for a lot of money in this new event, and the matches are short as well, so it adds a lot to the drama.
That was a key moment, that misread, wasn't he? He was 48-0 up. He'd been in first. That was his chance. He'd done the right thing, as we look at Brecel's stats there. He'd done the right thing, Allen, playing safe, but he didn't then take advantage. Anyway, that's the tail of the tape for Luca Brecel, because it's his birthday very soon, isn't it? It's actually his birthday 2 days from now. He'll be 29. Number 4 in the world. It did look at one point like he could become world number 1 this season, but his results just didn't back that up. That one, 147, was back at the Championship League in 2018. Centuries this season, just 13. But the season's not over yet, is it? That's the point, and this is a big day for him as he waits for Mark Allen to return, just 2 frames from the final.
Yeah, I mean, I have a theory that, you know, many a first-time world champion won't have a good time necessarily in the tournaments leading up to the championship, but in the case of our own Joe Johnson and Ken Doherty's part of the studio team here in Riyadh, they both reached the final the year after they won it for the first time, and it's not impossible Luca could, because he obviously likes it there now, because he'd never won a match at the Crucible prior to 2023, but stranger things have happened, and he had a deep run at the Crucible as champion.
Exactly. I mean, he's not been widely tipped this year, but he wasn't last year, was he? That's the point. But anyway, we will find out, won't we? Because April the 20th, he's the only player on tour right now who knows when he'll be playing. He'll be playing at 10 a.m. on April the 20th as defending champion, and we'll find out then exactly what's likely to unfold for him. But right now, just waiting for Mark Allen to return for a big frame for him. I'm not sure where he is, because he was actually sat in the arena, wasn't he, between frames?
Yeah, goodness, he's been gone ages, hasn't he? And I was thinking exactly that. Hopefully back soon and this match can continue, because you can just feel the extra tension, I think, as I said earlier, in a match of this kind. Maybe he's got lost.
Well, he was actually sat there when we went to the break, and he's since left the arena, so as you say, hopefully he's all right. He sometimes likes a mug of hot water just to warm his hands. The gold ball back on the table, as I say, early on in that frame he was definitely going for it until he made the decision, the wise one really, even though he lost the frame, to not push the boat out too much.
The inaugural Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker will be the first event in the sport's history to include a golden ball. Each frame will begin with the golden ball on the ball cushion level with the brown spot. If a player accidentally pots the golden ball early in the frame or hits it before hitting the object ball, it's a 4-point foul. The golden ball stays on the table as long as it's possible for a player to make a 1-4-7. If a maximum is no longer possible, the golden ball is removed from the table until the next frame. If a player makes a 1-4-7, he will then have the chance to pot the golden ball to score an extra 20 points and complete a unique break of 167. The first player to do this will win $500,000.
I'm not sure, we're just watching the explainer there, but it seems there's going to be some delay here. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Well, I notice his cue is there, so nothing's gone wrong on that score, you know. The tip hasn't fallen off or anything.
Well, these are the centuries, aren't they? We've had 10, which is plenty in 2 days. Ding with that 1-3. There's no high break prize. It's all about making the 1-6-7. But Ronnie O'Sullivan, the 3 yesterday. John Higgins has had a couple as well. Sean Murphy, we must say about his performance. I thought he played brilliantly. Those 2 breaks, 1-2-6, 1-2-1, first 2 frames, ended up losing 4-3.
Now it's a very enjoyable match to be involved in, actually, commentating. To 2-0 up, looked to $1 million, as Sean Murphy often can. And somehow he lost it. But that was another terrific match. I really don't know. This is a very long wait between frames, so the reason's unknown on that score. He's been gone, I should think, at least 5 or 6 minutes now.
I don't know whether he's found out that there's a delay and has left the arena because of that, or whether we'll just wait for him. I hope Luca is staying where he is. Well, we're being told in my ear there might be a 10-minute break. I'm not sure why. We'll try and find out. Here's Ronnie. Meanwhile, let's watch him for a bit, practicing.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he play well last night? I mean, he really did. He could have made 4 centuries. And I mean, all of the matches over the years against John Higgins, they've both beaten each other a number of times. I do remember John Higgins once whitewashing Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think it was in the Welsh Open. But rarely have you seen a performance so one-sided between that pairing. And O'Sullivan did look extremely good. But of course, he'd have to play like that again today, or the top of his game today, and it's not easy to back up a performance like that.
Well, it's clearly not a 10-minute delay because Mark Allen's back. So let's get on with it. So it's 2-0 to Luca Brecel as we get a big third frame underway. Still best of 7, so Mark Allen really needs to win this. Well, we've been informed that Mark Allen, in fact, had a nosebleed, so obviously had to go off and attend to that. So hopefully that won't happen again for him. That's the last thing you need when you're already match.
Nice shot. But now I don't think he'll be able to pursue this break any further because he's got the angle on the green. Unless you want to screw it to the middle and up and down. But I think he'll be worried about making any early mistakes in this frame and going 3-0 down.
Mark Allen 1.
I think it can be easily forgotten that Luca Brecel is one of the most dangerous players at long range. You know, he's such a great potter. You don't want to leave him anything, especially with the 2 frames on the board already in this best of 7 frame match. Well, you get a lot of the bunch there, and that's why players don't do that. You see players loathe to play hard off the bunch of reds because something either goes close to a pocket, or in this case, 2 reds have gone, 1 over each pocket. So that was quite a big mistake from Brecel, one that needs to be taken advantage of by Mark Allen.
Yeah, it's exactly what Allen needs, isn't it? Just to be basically put in here, but how far will he get? .36 this season, which is plenty. The final in Telford, it wasn't a big scoring affair, was it, with Zhang An? It was very attritional, but he came home with the trophy.
Six.
Yes, he can just get through, can he, to that red through the gap? He's unsure. I feel that this is such a good chance. He's one exact positional shot away from being on the black and getting the chance to make it a big break. The reds are beautifully scattered. He's got to be a little careful on this shot that he doesn't find himself not on the black. Hard to judge the pace with the extension on the cue. No, that's absolutely perfectly played.
7.
Mark Allen still has plenty of snooker to play before that World Championship. Of course, here
14.
today, he hopes to be here at the end. He's got the World Open in Yushan. He's got the Tour Championship in Manchester. He's also, before that, he's in the mixed doubles event. So he'll certainly be played in for the Crucible.
15. Twenty-one. 22.
'If he's straight on this red, it's not so bad. It's just
29.
off straight. So he's going to have to push it off the cushion and back out for the black.
30.
This was a shot. I mean, he really caught a lot of the bunch there, and you know, the reds are almost drawn to the pockets. It was like magnets. He's done well here because he hasn't looked particularly comfortable. He was out of the arena for a long time at the end of frame 2. And he's been given this good chance because he
37.
absolutely needs to take it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just had a nosebleed, and it was quite a worrying thing to happen. But you wouldn't know, would you, the way he's taken these so far? He's always been known for this close control that he has when he's in a position like this. Never seems to be far from the next ball.
45.
He's turning into
46.
one of the world's best match players, though, isn't he, as well now? I think that's where his game has developed over the last few years. And, of course, most players start off with a real potting game and then develop all the rest. I can tell you that even applies to someone like Steve Davis and Mark Selby, who I saw as young players. They were both potters, great long potters, and then over the years they've refined their
51.
skills. That last shot, I think there was a little bang just before he hit it, and he's not on the red straight enough just to run through on the black.
He gave someone a bit of a stare, didn't he?
Be very annoyed if he misses here. Of course, don't forget he was in with a 48-point lead in frame 2 before eventually losing it. Could be a similar kind of frame if this blue doesn't go in. I think he looks a little under pressure on this next pot if he does take a pot on. I feel he probably has to play this. He's got this tendency to refuse shots these days, though. Hasn't quite put the frame away yet, though, because this red he's going to take on.
57.
I mean, it's not exactly the same, but he missed the ball into that pocket. Needs a cue ball to run round the back of the black and the red next to it.
$58.
That was a good shot. That was well controlled. And the last obstacle here surely is just to run this in. the blue in and finish on a red, and the frame should be his.
Felt like it was a chance he had to take when Brecel caught them too thick and
63.
left the initial opening. This red is the one he needs to win his first frame. I think the key to it really is trying to find the right balance, isn't it, between the hard match play stuff, but also retaining the fluency that you have in your game. And I think maybe towards the end of last season, he lost a bit of that fluency. I think we remember the semi-final against Mark Selby at the Crucible, but he's found it here. If you can find that balance, then you can be very hard to beat. And he's in that position right now, isn't he, Mark Allen?
70.
Just do with this one in, I guess. That should stop any playing on, certainly.
71.
Yeah, man, that safety shot, we've seen it a couple of times, but it was quite a poor one. Put everything out in open play. Just what Mark Allen needed. A chance like this. Well, some shot, isn't it? And now the century break is very much on the cards. Swinging that cue ball quite wide around the angles.
74.
Nice little nudge as well. So he's very much back in this match now, I think, mentally, and of course
80.
with the frame on the scoreboard competitively.
81. $88. 89.
So Mark Allen poised to make what would be the 11th century of the tournament and his first.
94.
What a timely one. He had to
96.
depart the arena because of a nosebleed, having just lost a very lengthy second frame after that battle on the yellow, but he stepped in here, made a terrific break.
99.
37th century of the campaign for the Northern Irishman. Game on again then here in Riyadh.
$108.
Yeah, terrific break. I think he was striving for a little bit of rhythm at the beginning, but as the break's gone on, he's found it a bit of his confidence and range. Superb effort, this.
114.
Clearance of 121 from Mark Allen. Important frame to win. As Luca Brecel was 2-0 up when it began in this best of 2-1. This match still anyone's. Now this match has got a lot closer after that terrific century clearance from Mark Allen. 2-1 now to Luca Brecel. Allen with a 1-2-1. Brecel's had breaks of 72 and 71. It's been good stuff so far. But Brecel saw there just one mistake cost him. He just played that thick safety and left the chance, and Mark Allen took it.
I think it was an unforced error. I don't think his safety shot really should have been that troublesome, but he seemed to want to get the bunch of reds open, and he definitely did that, not for any use of his own.
Foul. No miss.
That'll be a miss,
Mark Allen 4.
depending whether Mark Allen wants to have a go at that red to middle. I mean, you get the feeling that if Luca was to have a chance to play it a second time, the cue ball will be in the bunch. So it'll be 4 points. Whereas he may as well have a little go at this red. Is there a red that goes here? I mean, if so, that would be a massive miscalculation for Mark Allen to allow that. Well, I think the red will actually pass the bunch, but whether he can see enough of the potting angle. Wow. That is terribly unlucky.
Mark Allen 6.
And Mark Allen made a huge mistake allowing that, because he played the red to middle unaware that there was a red on. And the in-off, or the pink being potted, was not deserved, because it was a brilliant shot. Luck plays a part.
Yeah, I mean, the pink has skimmed off the blue and gone in the pocket. Horrible, horrible.
Not really any justice there, because Allen should never have left that. And in doing so, he's profited somehow. Looks like he's got cover on that red from the green ball, but not on the reds at this end, of course, which I'm sure Luca Brecel will take a keen interest in. Yeah, of the two reds, I must say, if he was to play one of them, I think the red on the right of those two I'd be more interested in. Cue ball is kind of coming in towards the reds and the black by playing it. I think it's an easier pot into a more open pocket from straight behind it. This one is very missable. Not a nice shot at all to be playing. Ah, brilliant.
1.
That is a brilliant shot. Quite a lot of angle on it, but he managed to very coolly run it through onto the black. So he's put that disappointment of the bad luck behind him, knocking the pinking. Previous shot. And that'll do him.
8.
I think you can just get the cue through the gap between the reds here, just so that you can get centre ball striking. Yep, no foul. He didn't foul.
9.
Tatiana Williston, the referee, was standing over, just looking to make sure there was no contact between the cue and any of the reds.
16.
It's a wonderful chance, this. I mean, the balls are really in good places. 6 or 7 reds in very much open play.
Seventeen.
He appeared recently on a Belgian game show. It was one of his favourite programmes, and didn't fare too well. He came away with a printer. But there's rather more significant prizes available here, doing what he does best, playing snooker.
$21.
That's the thing. He's become obviously a big star in Belgium after his exploits last year.
$22.
Yes, and snooker's not that new to Belgium. A lot of the coverage through Eurosport going back way before it became popular in other regions worldwide. A lot of snooker played there in the early 90s tournaments. But he is by far the best player that Belgium has ever had, and of course as world
27.
champion it's something that is very significant in the future of the game. Anyway, he's finished slightly awkwardly there. He's on any one of 4 reds, but none of them absolutely A1.
Yeah, Belgium has got quite a cue sports heritage, because Carom billiards is a big sport there. I'm not sure it would suit Luca, though. There's no pockets. It's all about cannons.
It's a little bit more riding on this shot than he would have wanted. He didn't want to have to play this with the rest. But he's not
28.
had a problem in knocking it in.
$35. $36. $43. $44.
So you see, despite the century, Alan is trailing on pot success.
Some work to do though. With
49.
2 reds in open play here, it'll take him up to a lead somewhere beyond 50, depending on which colours he takes. But those 5 reds in the centre of the table are going to be very much in play after that. Not necessarily that easy
50.
to get on, unless they're moved. But now he just can do what he can. He's got a little bit of angle here to play on the other red. Position on the next
56.
colour is going to be crucial, because he must nudge the reds, I feel here. I don't think there's any other way he can get into them. Doesn't have to hit them hard, just
57.
disturb them from there, and surely something will be potable.
Yes, this is the shot now, isn't it? If he gets on 1, then it's going to be 3-1 surely to him. Well, brilliant.
Yeah, good shot. It's hard to think of a way
64.
playing it at that pace where He could not be on any of the 5. It wouldn't have been deserving of him because he was unlucky at the start of the frame, but he's shrugged that off.
Thing about, I mean, he was unlucky, and okay, he's won the frame, but of course he was on the black. You know, there was a chance, early chance to chase the 167 anyway. Might be more chances yet for Brecel today. I think regardless of who you're supporting in the event, it's just good to see him playing well again. You know, we kind of missed him this season. He's not been cited as often as the other top players.
73.
But there's just a lovely way about him, isn't there, around the table? He makes it look easy, and we know it isn't.
$78. 79.
Well, this was an opening red. It was ever so well played. He kind of floated the red in. The cue was coming across towards the black. But he controlled it well. The pot was very missable. How about that for position?
84.
Absolutely A1.
85.
I think that's a certain occasion where you hear people say he couldn't have picked that up better and placed it with his hand. That was one there. Anyway, looks like it's going to be a century response to Mark Allen's 1-2-1. At the start of the day,
92.
the players, all 4, were aware they're going to have to play well if they're going to stand a chance of winning. And Brecel is. Had that ill fortune at the start
98.
when the pink flew in the green pocket. Has just got on with it.
100.
And there's the century, the 12th of this tournament. Brecel's first, and it puts him 1 from the final.
$103.
Worth remembering, of course, that Mark Allen was 3-1 down against Mark Selby in one, so he won't have given up by any means.
107.
I guess that's something for him to think about as they are getting
112.
set up for the next frame. But Brecel is looking good today, and he certainly is playing better again. It's been a beautiful break, this.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to last April and May. And that incredible run he was on that ended up with him being world champion. Terrific clearance from Luca Brecel, 125. That's more like it from the world champ. He leads 3-1 and he needs 1 more to reach the final. To Mark Selby, and he won 3 close frames, including an unbelievable decider.
Frame 5.
So
Luca Brecel
we know he can turn it round, but let's see. Brecel confident, clearly, after that terrific century.
That's an early mistake. I think Luca must have a shot at the red to right corner here, albeit the cue ball adjacent to the side cushion. That was a good chance, you know, had that gone in. That really was a chance. And you don't get many against Mark Allen, but that was an early gift he hasn't taken. I think Brecel's aware the work is a long way from being done. But this man is pretty resilient.
Well, in many ways, he's sort of become the new Selby, hasn't he? And this is where often Mark Selby over the years, when he's in adversity, comes alive. And we saw Mark Allen do that to him yesterday.
6. 7.
But also, we know he's scoring well. He made the century in the previous frame before Brecel's.
Twelve. 30. 20.
A lot of people here, of course, will be watching live professional snooker in the flesh for the first time. And they're seeing some good stuff, aren't they? Mark Allen with the balls open here with another chance to win a frame in one visit.
Yeah, very well controlled shot that through the bunch. Knew exactly what he was hoping for there. Sometimes that shot would be played with just an element of uncertainty, but there was none of it there. But as I say, Luca got in with yes, the cue ball was close to the side cushion, but it was an early way of putting this match to bed. And he missed the first ball. So he's still going to have to find, by any means done so yet. Middle red goes there in the bunch.
36. 37.
'Just one red going from that side of the table, it would appear.
42.
Not landing perfectly on the middle red, though. That was the one. Is he on anything? Can he even get to the red? Maybe, but I tell you, that was a poor shot. And his cue ball's hitting other balls now. It's a complete miscalculation there. He could have screwed it in and been on the red into the left corner, which went. Met with a slightly unexpected problem now. The pot and the position. So we're going to play another decent shot to keep this break alive. Cannot afford to miss this.
Forty-eight. 49.
So just the one shot that came out of the blue where he lost the cue ball, which he's now recovered completely.
Well, they're really trading punches now, aren't they, these two? It's just taking one chance in these frames.
$57.
Mark Allen needs red in the colour here.
Yes, and no reason to believe he won't
63.
do exactly that. And now, as I say, that chance of Lucas. Maybe he thought he would get something else, and no doubt something will come his way.
64.
But it's probably not going to be in this frame, I'm sure.
Applause for frame ball. Well, will it be 3 centuries in as many
69.
frames? As I say, some of the people here watching snooker for the first time are being already rewarded. And don't forget, it's O'Sullivan Trump still to come before the
70.
final tonight.
$77. $78.
Well, it's another match this week where someone will have played really well and they're not going to win. They're both producing the breaks now.
Yeah, I mean, the Sean Murphy match was the example of that, losing to Judd Trump. So I think Murphy, that's the best I've seen him play all season. Only won the
84.
Championship League at the very beginning, but he played beautifully and still lost. Missed one ball, which was a red, which was only just
85.
went. Apart from that, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, and on the first night as well, Ding, he made 2 centuries, didn't he? And lost 4-3 to Ali Carter. Some standard. This is why, you know, historically invitation events in new territories have been very important, bringing the best in the
90.
business to come and showcase the sport. You lay down a bit of a footprint. And these guys are delivering.
93.
So this black, and it'll be 3 centuries in 3 frames in this match. Mark Allen second. Superb break. Once again.
100.
Indeed, he's just as surprised when the odd shot positionally goes wrong. He had the cue ball under good
101.
control. A lot of snooker you feel to be played yet in this match.
Got to wait for
106.
Tatiana Wollaston to put the blue down.
108. $111. $115.
I'm sure the audience would love to see a decider. That's up to Alan in the next frame, but he's just taking one chance now to win these frames for either player, really.
120. $126.
So Mark Allen's second century, he's still in a bit of trouble, but standard very, very high here as the black goes in. A 133 total clearance from Mark Allen. We've had 3 centuries in as many frames. What a treat for this Riyadh crowd. Brecel's lead cut to 3-2. Oh, what a thoroughly enjoyable match this has been. Luca Brecel breaker 72 in the first. He made 71 in the second. There was a battle on the yellow there. Allen 1-2-1 in frame 3. Brecel 1-2-5 in frame 4. And Mark Allen's just made a 1-3-3, a total clearance. So it's 3-2, very high standard. And still to come, we've got Judd Trump and Ronnie O'Sullivan in the second final. The final tonight, best of 9 from 7 o'clock UK time, 10 o'clock local time. And so £1 million and the first ever Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker trophy. Mark Allen's got, they are in his hands. They look like tea bags, don't they? But they are keeping his hands warm. And we're just waiting for Luca Brecel and waiting to see what's going to happen next. Can this man take us to a decider? Can Brecel get over the line?
Yeah, Brecel no doubt going to compose himself, because it's it just wants a chance of some
Frame
description.
6.
He's got 2 frames for that to
Mark Allen
happen.
to break.
Frame 6 then of a wonderful contest here. Allen's had 2 centuries, but he's 3-2 down.
Yeah, looks perfectly safe. I suppose there is that red up the table there on the far side. Might be able to pot it to the middle pocket to aim at. Oh, he looked to be going near jaw. It stayed on the near jaw. The bottom red in the bunch, I don't know if you could make that into a plant to the left, a double to the left middle or not. Just to weigh in. If you can see enough of the cushion to make it into a double. Slightly risky way of playing it. He has left something that Mark Allen might want to go at. This red perhaps to the, not so much to the middle pocket, I would say. That's too risky, too little pocket to aim at. Can pot it and screw back though, and potentially get a snooker or be on the bolt colour to the middle.
One.
Excellent. He's kind of in between, so he's always got the roll up that he can play to the colour. I don't think he really wants to play that.
Mark Allen,
He
1.
thought long and hard there, and he was loath to roll up to the yellow. And I understand why that was, because there was a bunch of reds there. He felt that Luca would escape. But he took a long time on this, and now what he was hoping to pot after the brown is now there for Luca.
One.
So he's been hoping for a chance. First frame. The last frame can be the most difficult to win, the one that takes you over the line in any match. But he's in with a squeak here. Pink's above the bunch of reds, so blue into the bunch with the pink there. You'd have to be so accurate. Hit the pink square on and the pink hits the bunch. If the pink was tight against them, you could screw into them and I think you would open them up nicely. But pink almost protecting the bunch where it is. That's why you may not go that route. I think we've got a pretty good look there at the pink spot, and it won't go on its own spot, it will go onto the brown, so the red to the left should be available. Potting this ready would like to disturb a few. I mean, there's two ways
11.
of playing it: run through or screw it in.
12.
He hasn't really, in playing it that way, opened anything up. So he's going to have to try and play with topspin and go into the bunch that way, and it's quite a difficult way to open them. Can work out. But he's stretching as well. So it's not a nice shot he's faced with here. I wonder if you could play that shot again, whether he would have screwed in and out, played up the table for blue or lower value. It's a difficult shot now to pot it and break the reds. I think the speed he went into them, he wouldn't have been on it once in 100.
90.
The reds have not opened up at all. Small break, 19 points, but you never really got control of things during the course of it. Didn't hear the call of touching ball, but it looked very much like it was, because Tatiana is on the spot. Tatiana Williston, the referee. Clearly
Luca
wasn't a
Brecel,
touching ball.
19.
So that 19 break probably not going to mean a great deal.
We've had 3 centuries in a row, but at this stage 3-2 in a best of 7, you might get a little tense. Just on the previous meetings, the head-to-head 5-3 to Allen. One of those for Brecel was at the Masters, 6-5 in Alexandra Palace back in 2019.
Allen's shot was not a particularly strong safety shot. He's left this on. By no means an easy long pot. What a putt.
One.
What a shot. Mark Allen, he played to the cushion and he was a little short of pace. You don't really want to leave Luca Brecel these. This is how he won the World Championship. Rattling those sort of shots in. He's quite a belligerent player, isn't he? A confident player when he's in. Well,
8.
I think the red to middle is what he'd really like to be able to pot. The one he's very close to there is horrible. Does the red pass the other red? Of course, if it does go, then just ignore the red that appears to be just in front. Either it goes or it doesn't. This is difficult, not to get to the pot necessarily, but to get the colour. Well, that could be a match-winning shot. It was beautifully played. When the balls are that close, you can play a push shot, but not there. Push the red over the middle for good measure. What a chance.
$16.
Make no mistake, he's enjoyed himself in his year as world champion, as he's entitled to, but there is a sense, and I think we saw it at the Welsh Open, that he's now back to work. He's been on the practice table, he's lost a bit of weight. Big few weeks coming up for him into the defence of the world title, and maybe a big few minutes here. If he can put himself in the final, what a confidence boost.
He probably shouldn't have been as straight on this black as he is. It's more difficult than it might have been to get out for a red. Oh, goodness me. That shouldn't be there either.
24.
He's feeling it a little bit because he's played some beautiful shots, but the cue ball is not under very tight control, unlike the man he's playing. It's pretty inviting, but either directly or it could just go in off the other red, I suppose. Just
25.
It's kind of how he does it, though, isn't it? He doesn't sort of do it the easy way, Brecel. That's what makes him so exciting. This now a serious chance if he can just keep tight control of that cue ball. Where the reds are, the black available, blue on its spot as well. What a chance to win it.
30.
There's a chance of his own creation because the long red going in was only half the battle, but he got the reds into open play. He's done so in good style. Lovely striking as well. There's definite signs, not just because he's winning here, that his form is coming back. And he was always going to do that at some point. It was just a question of when.
Well, he has already been in a final this season, but it was back in September at the Shanghai Masters.
39.
Largely AWOL since, really, but this is a good time to start playing well again. He's just leaving things a bit awkward again. He's just, for the blue, he's queuing over the brown, so he's now looking at maybe the pink. He's just not been in A1 position throughout, but he's not got much more to do. It's 2 pots, actually. There's that brown in the way. But the blue goes in, and this red should put Luca Brecel into the Masters of Snooker final.
44.
Just check at the scores. This is the one. An adventurous break, but he kept it going. And he'll be playing either Ronnie O'Sullivan or Judd Trump in the final here in Riyadh tonight.
$52.
And one thing you can never say about
53.
Luca is that he's frightened of closing out matches. You know, he's in the big league and in that World Championship, there's so many telling breaks along the way, not least during the course of that final against Mark Selby over 2 days.
60.
I don't think it matters to Luca the kind of style of opponent, whether
60.
they're tough match players, open players. Of course, he beat CGOE, he beat O'Sullivan, the Crucible, Mark Williams, all these players.
68.
Well, can he keep this going and end with what would be 4 centuries in a row? There's the red.
69.
4 centuries between them. Mark Allen's played well in this match.
Yeah, for a match with a lot riding on it, the breaks have been absolutely flowing, haven't they?
I think Brecel, he's just unafraid of
74.
taking balls on, and if they're going in, it's
75.
very dangerous.
I mean, there has been a lot of tension during the course of the match. I think the getting in part of things has been, you know, highly competitive, but when these two have been in, they've been superb.
Well, it's not a century, but it's a winning break of 82 from Luca Brecel, the first man into the final of the Riyadh season World Masters of Snooker. It was a very, very entertaining match. Mark Allen himself made 2 centuries. Of course, Brecel won as well in frame 4. The crowd have been entertained, and they will be by the next match as well, of course, between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Judd Trump. The winner of that to play Luca Brecel in the final tonight. He's beaten Mark Allen 4-2.